Assalamu alaikum, this is Shahzad Ahmed and you're watching Enlighten. In our first video on envy, we explained the envy and its different types of attacks on spiritual heart. In the second video, we shall discuss the neuroscience of envy, its psychological and physical impacts. To remind the evil of envy, let's take an example of envious brain. In the old days, a sultan meets two villagers on his way. He says to one of them, "Ask me whatever you want, but whatever you want, I will give your friend twice as much." However, this villager had an envious mind. He thinks to himself that if he wants a horse, his friend will get two like him. If he wants a beautiful house, his friend will get two beautiful houses. Because his mind was full of envy, he finally says to Sultan, "Oh my Sultan, please blind me with one eye." In this way, his friend will be blinded with both of his eyes. We do not know whether the Sultan granted this villager's wish or not, but this story seems to show us how ugly the envious mind is. Envious brain doesn't hesitate and starts sharing difficulties instead of sharing conveniences. Let's now talk about the psychological and physical effects of envy. First, we shall talk about the brain. Neuroscientist Hideko Takahashi of Kyoto University explained, when you imagine and compare yourself to that of a long-time rival, your brain part, insula and interior cingulate cortex, which controls fear, anger and disgust, fluctuate into a high gear. And in our anterior cingulate cortex, the social pain of envy is experienced in much the same way as a physical pain. In another study, researchers at the National Institute of Radiological Sciences in Japan and their colleagues described that when people admitted to feeling of envy, brain regions involved in registering physical pain were aroused. The higher the subjects rated their envy, the more vigorously flared the pain nodes in the brain dorsal anterior cingulate cortex. In other words, it hurts us in the same way that physical pain would hurt us. The only difference is that emotional pain does not have any specific locations in the body and is often described as a feeling of tightness in the chest or abdomen. Second is how it affects your stomach. When you overhear your boss praise the company's new genius persons and your lunch looks a whole lot less delicious. French John Nenevega, a psychiatrist at Yale Child Study Center, explained the threat of a challenger who could leave you jobless activates a fear reaction in the amygdala, triggering the fight or flight response that ramps up productions of adrenaline and noradrenaline. Resultantly, you feel lack of appetite and nausea. Third is how it hurts your physical heart. According to Jonathan Dash, a neuroscientist at the University of Haifa, the sympathetic nervous system buckles under the stress of envy, quickening the heart and spiking blood pressure. If left unchecked over time, this could lead to hypertension and heart disease. Fourth is your social behavior. In a study by Anna Maria Cibala, assistant professor of psychology, North Carolina State University, and her colleagues, they had requested the people to write about a time they felt envious. And they found that participants who were feeling envious were less likely to help a stranger. They set up a situation where researchers posing as another participants dropped a canister of pencils near their participant so they could record how much the participants helped to pick up the pencil. Despite the fact that the pencils were dropped right next to the participants, envious peoples were less likely to help and also picked up fewer pencils. It shows that if you have envious behaviors, you become less live and sensitive towards helping others. In another study by Anna and colleagues, They set up situations where participants had the opportunity to assign puzzle tasks to another person, believing that the other person had to complete the task in a short period of time to earn a reward. It turned out that envious participants were more likely to assign difficult puzzles to the other person. They were even more likely to admit to doing it because they wanted to hurt the person's chances of earning the reward. So in envy, you become a troubles for others. Therefore, it is scientifically proven that envy causes the same pain in the brain as it does with physical injury. It disrupts your digestive system, gives you hypertension, heart disease, and divides people's. It destroys relationships, sows discord, and breeds bitterness and evils. Thank you very much for watching our second video on the envy, the cancers of spiritual heart. Please share this video with your relatives and friends so that they can know the scientific reasons and causes of envy. Take care of yourself and take care of others too. God bless you.